What to do with a windfall? Yes, a big juicy inflow of money. Now you might go, well, Anne, hey, quality problem. Well, for many people, it's not a quality problem. It's a real problem because most people actually have no idea how to handle a big inflow of money. But not just even a big inflow, it might be a smaller inflow. Maybe it's a year-end bonus at work. Maybe you've got a tax refund. Maybe you've got a nice raise. Maybe you inherited some money, so that can be some bigger chunks. Maybe you've got a divorce settlement or a life insurance payment. Maybe you've been working on a side gig and you've got some additional money coming in. So it can be a whole range of this additional money coming in. And for many people, without actually having a strategy or plan to how to deal with inflows, two big bad things happen. One, it just flows straight out of their life. Because if they've got a dodgy or dysfunctional money flow, all that additional inflow will do is magnify that money flow. Now, if you don't know about money flows and whether you've got a dysfunctional one or not, go and watch that video. But so what happens, that dysfunctional money flow just gets magnified by the increase of money. And then when that windfall is dried up, when it's no longer flowing in, they actually ended up with a wider, a bigger dysfunctional money flow. So it's like a river comes in, there's a big flood happens, poof, it bursts the riverbanks, and then it all dries up, and now you're left with just bigger riverbanks. And this is one of the reasons why most people who get a big windfall, a divorce settlement, an inheritance, a lottery win, maybe some kind of payout from an insurance, could be from an accident, actually end up in a worse financial position within 2 years from when they got that windfall. It's also one of the reasons that over 94% of all big earners in the sport and the entertainment area, musicians, movie stars, big sports stars that get a lot of money for a short period of time, end up in really, really bad financial positions because they've never been taught what to do with it. But maybe your windfall is that tax rebate. You want to have a strategy. So what do you do with it? The most important thing to do when you have any kind of bigger chunk of money flow into your life is neutralize it. Because here's the thing, as humans, we treat money from different sources differently. You know, we have one mindset or behavior around money that we've earned, that we work for. You can go, oh, my hard-earned money. And so most people have some kind of way that they manage that money. But windfalls, people often go, oh, you know, free money, oh, well, it's cheap, it came in. And so often people will treat it with a lower value, its potential, hence why it makes it so easy to flow out. People say, oh, well, you know, I didn't work for this, so let's go and on that holiday or buy more things or get that car or whatever it is. They'll treat that money differently. So your very first step is to neutralize this energy, the beliefs we have around the meaning of that money, because all money is equal, but we create different weird identities around money from different sources. So how do you do that? Everybody should have what I call your reservoir, your dam account. This is also really important as you start getting more asset generated income, that you have an account where all money sources flow into. And this should not be your day-to-day transaction account because it's not about spending it. This is a catch-all account where investment property income comes in, dividend income, your other passive businesses, and windfall goes in. So it can all neutralize. It can spend a little bit of time in that big dam, and it can blend with money from the other money sources, and your actively earned income should come in there. So it ends up all just being money, not free money, earned money, investment money, which we can have different behaviors. Money is money. Now, you then need to have a money management system, something like Wealth Pie, about how to allocate that money. So let me give you a refresher. So key things with windfall that you want to do. The very, very first thing you want is increase a big lump of that needs to go to your freedom. And the more of that money that you can put to freedom, the better. This is to investments, to assets. Remember, if you create assets, those assets end up working for you over and over and over again, as opposed to just spending that money because once you spent it, it is gone. Whereas if you convert it into assets, it'll keep earning for you over and over. So you want a minimum of 10% of that windfall to go to investments. Now, if it's a big sizable windfall, or if it's something like an inheritance, a death benefit, a divorce settlement, you want 90% of that going to assets, because that money is designed to look after you. But in the interim, I'm talking about, maybe a tax rebate. Now we're going to come to the more dividing up. So pay yourself first, pay your freedom first is where that first chunk of money needs to go. And you can look at your tax efficient mechanisms. Have you utilized your tax protected investment pots, your ISA allowance, your Roth allowance, your tax-free savings account allowances? Make sure you top those up first. Have you fully utilized your retirement funding allowance for that year? Are you in a country where you can go back and utilize previous year's allowances? So top those up, because that enables your investments to grow free of tax and be more efficient as you go. So pay yourself first, buy investments with a large chunk of that money. The next thing to do is pay down and clear consumer debt. That is that contraction debt. This is not neutral debt. It's not your mortgage on your house, and it's not expansion debt. This is not debt that you've taken on to control and buy assets like investment property debt or gearing in businesses. This is straight consumer debt. Credit cards, overdrafts, store cards, your car loans, student loans, IOUs, short payday lenders, all of that hideous stuff where you're paying interest on that money that's just without something against it. Get rid of that. And remember that every bit of debt you pay is actually a wealth strategy, because it increases your net worth. And remember, your net worth is your guiding star. That's what you're focusing on, is building your net worth to get your freedom number, so that you don't have to work if you don't want to, because your assets are doing all the work. So that's really key. Create assets, blitz your debt. Both of them are going to increase your net worth. Now, the next thing is build up your cash safety net and your emergency fund if you don't have that already in place. Emergency fund, so go and watch the video on what does that mean, getting that protection pate in place, this amount of money that is to serve you for things that are expensive that are coming down the line, but also for emergencies, and money that you can feed off in an interim period of time so that you can allow your assets to grow. We're starting to get into drawdown strategy, but you always want a chunk of money that you can live off if you're not earning actively, but also as part of your intention that you'll then feed off a cash element when you're actually drawing down and feeding off your fees. So build up your cash safety net and your emergency fund. Really important. Then the fourth aspect, allow yourself to indulge, have some fun, celebrate some of that money, but not all of it, don't blow it. But I'm also not going to be you can't have fun. As you know, in Wealth Pie, you need to be having fun with your money. If you're not doing that, something else will happen. It will blow up in a big messy money drama. We need to be, satiating our desires, having joy, celebrating life. But that's the key thing. Make sure you're spending it on things that you really enjoy. So indulge, have fun, and really get value from that, rather than just some unconscious, like, how quickly can I get rid of the money? Allocate some of that to really things that you want to do. And then fifth element is allocate some of that to your growth. Think about what is an area that you can go and get some more education in, some more knowledge you can gain. Is there a course you need to do? Is there or want to do? Is there a teacher you want to work with? Is it something that can increase your earning potential actively? So maybe you're an amazing photographer, but you want to get that next distinction on how to get even more extraordinary photographs, so you can put more onto passive earning and earn more royalties off your photographs. Do you want to learn how to invest in other asset classes? Do you need to get a property mentor or learn how to do rent to rent? What about investing in the stock market? Can you increase your skills, or do you want to start an online business? Do you need to learn how to market that? And so allocate some money for your growth. So there you go. Key things with your windfall. Most important, neutralize it. Secondly, determine whether it's a big lump sum that's been designed for you to live off and feed off for a long time. If that's the case, you get it invested and working. If it's a smaller inflow, like some, a lottery win, not that I'm a big proponent of that at all. In fact, I think the lottery is hideous, but if it's a tax rebate or an extra bonus that come in, look at these different 5 areas. Freedom first, saving, paying down on consumer debt, allowing yourself to indulge and have some fun, and allocate some to keep growing you. So there you have it. I'm Ann Wilson, and I'd love to know in the comments below, what have you done in the past with a inflow? Have you had a strategy? And now having a strategy, what difference will that make in your life going forward? And please share in as much detail any ahas that you got from this video, because that will also really help others that come here who are also looking at growing their financial freedom and financial savviness and their relationship with money, so they too can get to live their greatest life. And remember, your freedom is always created just by one step at a time, so keep taking those steps. Until next time, keep living that rich, juicy life.